Okay. By law.
Yeah. Oh, it's supposed to be gorgeous out for the weekend.
I told you guys, you're weapon credit for
Mr. Krulik.
I need to just tell me who you were and
I didn't
for off the wall.
I never did. It just happened.
Glenn Melcher, and what do we do for Off the Wall? We all did Off the Wall. It was a communal effort.
Next time you get pulled over. What was your job? Did you have one?
Sure, I had everybody in my house so we could lay the damn thing out, and I helped Anna Maria drive it down to the printer.
Thundergoat.
Thundergoat. That was the name of it. Thundergoat Press. To get the damn thing printed.
Just on 14th Street with all the working girls.
Yes.
I've been to the mental hospital.
I'm Mark Milrod. I don't know what my role was. I didn't have a job per se, but I had a lot of fun. I wrote the pencil specials, which you probably, if you read them, know they're very wordy. And
met each other on the job.
helped try to keep people moving in a single direction, even if there were different directions that were being moved in.
Brian said it. I was just an occasional writer for the thing. Hung out, did some of the folding and stapling parties. Had some fun. A lot of weird people.
Because people will tell you the same shit.
I'm Donnie Phillips. A lot of what I did was just fold papers and whatever else needed to be done. I made really good pizzas, so I'm told, from that day. And I probably did a few too many bong hits over the years. Oh well.
Hi, I'm Brian Thompson. I used to steal school supplies like staplers and staples and anything else we could use to put the paper together, rubber cement and whatnot, and would just generally provide erratic behavior. And oh, from the school. Everything that we used to put the paper together.
The statute of limitations has not run out yet.
That's okay, I don't care. They can come get me.
on the watch list.
A lot of times, anything I would write would get rejected out of hand because it was too extreme.
Oh, no, we never rejected anything, man. It might have had something to do with your handwriting, but if we had an editorial standard, if we can read it, we'll print it. And if we can't read it, we'll print what we can read. And if you misspell shit, that's your fault. And if you can't figure out English, we might even print an article right beside it saying, hey, look at this fucker over here. He got a thesaurus and he knows how to, whatever it was.
I was in charge of putting LSD on each of the copies to make people trip out during open lunch. And it was part of a conspiracy to have a smoke-in at Bowie High School. And I fucking admit it. Fuck you guys.
Okay, Brad Rudick. I was the off-the-wall cartoonist, political cartoonist, editorial cartoonist. Yes, but a founding member. I helped, get the paper off the ground, off the wall. No, I'm going to talk to these guys because the editorial cartoonist, yes, heavily influenced by
Bad experiences and
the likes of Pat Oliphant and Star Wars, which had a profound influence on me at the time.
as did the guidance council
Because,
and the security guards.
as I recall, the first cartoon,
Guidance council and the security
the first cartoon, which I saw recently, I looked it up, was the principal. What's his name? Hagen. Right.
With the little thing in his back.
Announcing the new hiree as the security officer, which was Darth Vader in the cartoon. So that was the general crux of the anti-authoritarian nature of it.
You guys, so Jim, tell me who you are and what you did with Off the Wall.
I'm Jim Moomey. Hosted a lot of meetings. Often took it to the publisher. Wrote one article in all my time there. Went to a lot of stapling parties and helped in layout and that kind of stuff.
But yeah, we had a fanzine for Bowie students. We were actually fans of the student population.
Yeah,
we tried to bring knowledge and an alternative viewpoint to them.
Yeah, I was talking to Porky a little bit ago. He was talking about the 25-year reunion,
which I missed.
Yeah, and it wasn't my year, but about how people were coming up to him and talking about stuff they had seen in Off the Wall back, and they remembered it, and kind of how didn't really realize at the time the effect we were having on other people.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Henry Brenton did some writing for Off the Wall, a very sarcastic article that featured our school administration and was proud of being in the headline during the SGA scandal when Bill Parent, Dennis Fitzgerald, and I resigned from the SGA in disgust because the scandal about the election was not being dealt with by the administration. Also folded a few copies, distributed them. Typical grunt work. Good memories. Yes, yeah, Presbyterian pastor. And still believe in the power of the press. I have a very clear memory of John Hagan grabbing stacks of Off the Wall out of Bobby Feaster's hands.
Well, I remember that incident. But was it, but it was just because it was Bob Feaster,
No, I don't think it was Bob. I think it was the paper. I don't think it was Feaster.
No,
I think it was the paper.
He also did this with a whole stack of the flyers for president. We were running Mike Nesmith as a writing candidate. And he was like the bass player for the Monkees, and it's like he's not a student, you can't do that.
But I remember being called in when we were getting ready to do that one article, and being threatened that if we printed names and said stuff, that we were going to be sued.
The SGA scandal.
Yeah.
Scandal.
Yeah, right.
I
That's
remember
right.
irregularities.
And it was like, yeah.
Well, that was the
Yeah.
one place where I actually got an off-the-wall headline. Brinton, Parent, and Fitzgerald resign in disgust.
I remember that. That was a good.
I recall the teachers really liking it. The teachers would get mad if we distributed all the.
Some of them wrote articles.
They didn't get them.
Some of the teachers wrote articles.
Mama Guccia.
Mrs. Gucci.
Yes, Mrs. Gucci did, and something about may the bird of happiness go poop poop on your head. Oh, she handed it to me and I printed it. She was my Italian teacher.
Laurel, I gotta get you, and it's Bob?
And Robert.
No, it's Bob Feaster.
No, it's been
Get
Robert
it right.
since the 80s.
That's right. That's why it's Bob Feaster, because no matter what he says, it's Bob Feaster. Part of the infamous Feaster Brothers band.
Yes, that's right.
Wasn't it nicknamed Bongwater?
That's true. It was Bongwater. That's right.
That was my name for the band. The cameras. Oh my God. My name is Robert Feaster, and I was the head honcho's boyfriend.
That's pretty accurate.
No, but I wrote a bunch of stories and was a contributor in a lot of ways, and I would also distribute. We all contributed. I was definitely a big part of it, but basically I was the head honcho's boyfriend. That's what it was.
But your band was what was your band's name?
It was Skyhawk back then, and actually Brian Suddett, who is here or was here, he just left. He was the singer of the band. Did we have the girl? Did we have Corey when you started seeing us?
Yeah, Corey.
Well, Brian only did like 1 or 2 gigs and a couple parties around town, and he decided it wasn't for him or whatever.
He didn't like all the drugs.
She's the beautiful, the inimitable Laurel Imlay.
Come on, Laurel.
Smile.
Speak out.
Laurel Imlay.
There's stuff
What did you do with Off the Wall?
I did some illustrations. And I went down with Anna Maria to D.C. to get it printed at Thundergoat Press.
That's right.
And
I think that was a front.
I wrote some poems.
You did poems?
It was, but everybody that worked there was a burnout.
Was the printer affiliated with like the local underground press, like publishing other things?
No, they were capitalistic. They were trying to make a buck like everybody else, but I think they did appeal to that element because I think a bunch of burnouts worked there.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have been. Who knows how they might have been supplementing their capital from month to month.
Humping your leg.
Why did we start this? Why did we start it? Wasn't it somebody's?
Well,
I think that's
Anna Maria.
question I was
Who got
pissed off
like
first?
a follow-up question to that,
Sorry if I don't remember
which was,
should all be wearing
did the people that we were like, operating against, the faculty and the authority, Hagan and the security guys, did they really care?
They did. They did really.
You think so?
Yeah, they really did.
They blamed us.
And
the green hat thing was real bad.
would talk about it. People would talk about the fact that we were doing it. Yeah. And if you'll remember, when we were seniors, they were accrediting the school, and maybe you never heard this, but when the accreditors
had their meeting with the faculty, one of the things that they noted as a sign of the intellectual capability of the school and how it was fostered was the fact that students on their own had started this underground newspaper.
Yeah, I have every issue myself.
I mean, that was a really important thing for a lot of people.
It really was. It was very important, and people really, remembered. I certainly do. So it was almost like, it was like pre the fanzine culture. It was like Bowie High's fanzine.
Anna Maria was a really, she was
I was having too much fun.
the one who did it.
I was
so,
too much fun.
She's not here.
and she's not here.
I'm glad you made it. Only because, I've seen most of these people in the meeting. Although I didn't see Brad at the last one.
I don't know if I was at the last one.
Yes.
Oh, God. Still the tab open? Somebody still the tab open?
I had
well, we
2
would
appetizers.
if we'd had a beer in the last 8 hours. Sorry.
Okay. Are we getting kicked out?